Hey guys, Ladders here. I'm back this time with a review on the evileye wing needle, which you guys noticed I recently just purchased along with Waveform Central needle and Materials Aerial Assault. So evileye wing needle came out in December, part of the Random Booster Volume 2 series. It was that big bay everyone wanted to get along with Trident Heavy Claw from Random Booster Volume 1. So this bay is pretty rare, and it's one that many people have been trying to get. It's also pretty expensive if you try to buy it off of eBay or from sellers or things like that. But I only got it for $15, so that's pretty good. As you guys can tell that from the title and from the name of this bay, it has two new parts and one repeat part. The repeat part will be the disc, which came with Valkyrie. So I'm not going to really talk too much about this disc. You can go to the Valkyrie video to learn more about it. But I just wanted to show it off, just because it's part of the bay. And again, just to quickly summarize, this disc isn't the best disc. It just helps keep bays stable by bringing some air currents. And as you can tell that this disc is clean compared to my Valkyrie's disc, which is dirty. So I have to go and buy the product to clean all of my metal wheels for all of my bays in general. I just ran out, so I haven't been able to buy them, buy the product to clean them. So yeah, but that's all it's really good for, just to help keep the bay a little bit stable. There's many other better discs out there, so I'm not really going to talk too much about this, and we'll move on to the driver. So here's the driver. It's a brand new part. If I could just focus, there we go. You can see the N sticker right there. Oh, it's not a focus. Okay, there we go. And how it has some edges around, so that's pretty cool. The cool thing about this N, well, I guess even if it wasn't just this N, any N, I guess. Why did it just go out of focus? Basically, what I was trying to say is that it can look like a Z sometimes if you just turn it on the side like this. There we go. So sometimes it will look like a Z, but it's actually just the N for needle, so it's pretty cool. And now, just like with the name, it has a bunch of spikes coming out. At first, when the Beyblade was announced, people thought it would be a very sharp needle type tip, but it's actually more like a defense tip. As you can see, there's just a bunch of needles poking out of it. This would focus. So yeah, you can see all the needles around it, and also it does look like a regular ball tip, except when you go closer you can see there's little bumps around it, and also four pegs on the ball. This is very similar to how defense is, how it has four, but unlike defense, these pegs go all the way down on needle. On defense, only two of them go down, and only two go halfway, which you can see right here if it focuses. So you see this one here goes all the way down, then this one doesn't. But for needle, it goes all the way down on all four sides. So it's similar to massive, except massive is more like a Y ball. This is just a regular ball, and like I had mentioned, these little bumps here, those are actually very reminiscent of the jog ball from the Beyblade, the Metal Saga. So you can see they both have little spikes on the ball tip. It's harder to see with the, there we go, now you can see it. So this is basically the burst version of jog ball. And I personally love jog ball. It's one of my favorite tips from the Metal Saga. And needle does pretty good. It's not the best tip. It's not the best driver, but it does pretty good. It can be used in some pretty cool combos. From what I've tried, it's pretty best just to leave it as a defense one, but something with a little bit more, circular. So maybe something like Kirby's because it's a little bit more circular, so it will help keep it more stable. This is again just to grip more to the floor and just to keep its mobility. So it's pretty good for that. But for attack purposes and things, it's because it's such a tiny little surface area compared to jog ball. It's best not to use it for much other attacks. So a defense layer will be better with this driver. Now moving on to evileye. Evileye is basically a giant eye. It's like from research that we've done in the WBO, it's basically like a beholder type thing. So it's basically like watches things. So it's just a giant eye. As you can see over here, from all the stickers, it looks pretty cool. It's got a very interesting pattern, almost similar to the dual layer, like this sticking out, and then another layer on top. And then you have the giant eye in the middle with like the iris, so that's really cool. Then you have something over here, which I can't really make out, but it's pretty interesting. So if anyone knows what this one is, please let me know. But this is the main thing about it. It's just a giant eye. Evileye is actually very, very good for defense and balance. It's not so good for attack because it's pretty thick, so it's made to withstand attacks, and it can't be too good for stamina because the way that it's built, it has a lot of proportions, so it doesn't really how we say it. Sorry, I've been away for 3 months speaking other languages, so I'm a little lost in English. It doesn't really keep the wind flow glowing because it's the way that it is symmetrical, but the way that it keeps spinning, it's basically meant just to deflect, especially since it's pretty heavy. And although heavy layers are good for stamina, he isn't that good, basically. I don't know really how to explain it. He's just not that good for stamina. If I had to list him as which of the 4 he'd go into, I'd say balance, defense, stamina, and then attack. So overall, he is pretty good for stamina. Stamina. He is pretty good for defense and balance. Again, and it all really depends. Like I said, this is good for defense combination, but it doesn't go well with him, mostly just because of the way that his layer is designed, how it has all these bumps. So for something like that, the regular defense driver would have been a little bit better, just because it has the extra support down here, and also something for balance, because you want it to be moving around a little bit more, well, depending what kind of balance you're leaning towards, but I lean towards more defense and attacking balance, so Blow does a really good job with him. And again, for discs, this does good in the balance attack combo. This does good in defense or balance, and then these two here do pretty good in defense. So really, it's just up to you how you want this bay to perform, because it's very interesting how this bay works. It's depending on all these combinations I've done, it's either made bays blow up in first contact, or it has simply outspun or knocked it out of the stadium. So evileye is actually a very good bay, but like I said, because of its thickness, it doesn't really look thick here. It's the way that when you hold it, it just feels a lot thicker. For example, compared to Valkyrie. I don't know, it's just a lot thicker in a way. So because of its thickness and because of the way that it's formatted, it's really good for defense, for reflecting base and defending itself, kind of like a shield. But for the balance, it does pretty good if you want to lean towards the more defense and attack balance, because like I said, it's like a shield, so it does good at deflecting things. And also because of the way that it's performed, it can deliver some heavy attacks, so it can either burst or send the bay just moving away so that it can try to survive a little bit longer. so that's pretty good. So overall, I think that if you guys can get evileye, you guys should, because it's really good display. It's actually pretty hard to burst too. At least this one is. I don't know about others. So I also wanted to do a test spin for you guys with him. Not a test battle just because I'm saving that for the battles. So like I said, overall, you should try to get him. Find a good price for him. Maybe someone selling it on the WBO. Just take a look. So let's just launch it real quick. So sometimes it moves around like this, and sometimes it does move around a little bit more aggressive. I'm going to try to do that now. Okay, that's not working. But trust me, sometimes it does move around a little bit more aggressive, sort of like how Drug Ball did. Overall, again, everyone should try to get this bait. It's actually really good, and if you do have it, try to mix around with more defense and balance combinations. So stay tuned for some battles and my reviews on the Beyblade Burst anime per episode. So far 3 episodes have aired. Technically 4, but the 4 hasn't been subbed just yet. So yeah, so stay tuned for reviews on those episodes, and also for my big project coming soon, and also battle videos and the dual layer base that's coming pretty soon. I have a lot of Beyblade stuff to do. So rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later.